I'm Dr. Mandy Kirk from Move to Success Physical Therapy, and I've had a couple parents ask about good core strengthening activities for their baby, especially babies who don't like to lay on their bellies and do tummy time. Babies who might have reflux are not as big of a fan of laying on their bellies, so I wanted to go through a few exercises to work on core strengthening so that sitting balance is easier if tummy time is less of an option or baby rolls out of tummy time or is severely uncomfortable. So something that I really like to use is just an exercise ball. So you can get these at Five Below or basically any Walmart or Dunham's or any kind of sporting authority store. They're helpful for a lot of things with pediatric physical therapy. So this is my little baby prop, and what I like to do to build core strength is to just seat baby on the ball and then work on tilting the ball, moving the ball back and forth, and getting baby to engage their core to weight shift. So babies will want to stay upright no matter which way the ball shifts. So it's really good to engage like those oblique muscles because they're going to be shifting to maintain the neutral position as the ball moves underneath them. And it's kind of fun for babies and parents. So moving back and forth, forward and backwards. So when you go forward and backwards, it works the pelvic position a little bit, which is really important because when babies are working on getting sitting balance, they're going to need to be able to handle catching themselves in all planes of motion. So baby is going to be using their hands a little bit to brace and to reach, and that's really good, building up those strategies. I like to move in circles, back and forth, forward and backwards. There's a lot of different directions that you can go with the ball. Another good one is putting baby on their stomach on the ball because it's a little bit less of a drastic pressure on their upper chest region than just laying them flat on the floor. So you can adjust their position like this. You can help by sticking your fingers underneath their armpits to kind of give them a little bit more support and holding their hands in a position that's not directly underneath their shoulders, but just a little bit wider. And giving them that support and then shifting back and forth here. The further forward you move, the more pressure is going to be put on the front of their chest, so they're going to be a little bit less comfortable, but you can kind of start back here and then slowly shift forward and backwards, and eventually you might get to a position where they're putting a little bit more pressure on their stomach and still building the core, building their shoulder girdle muscles and their neck extensors as well. Another really good tool that I like to use, but it might not be available, is a wedge. So I'm going to grab my wedge so I can demonstrate. So this is the wedge that I have at the clinic here. So doing exercises on a wedge, putting baby on their belly on a wedge is again not as much pressure on that upper chest region as laying them flat like this. So I like to use a wedge to slowly break them into this, and especially if they have reflux, this is a lot more comfortable for them, and it's easier for them to work on the core, work on the shoulder girdle, work on the neck extension in this position, and then slowly decreasing the incline until they're more flat. Another position that babies seem to tolerate a little bit better than just laying flat on their stomachs is over top of your leg. So putting them kind of in a hands and knees position with your leg underneath them while they play with toys here or whatever they would like to do, look at different things, or this is a really good position. So either on your thigh or on your lower leg is a little bit less. If you don't want to use your leg, or if you want to do it for a more prolonged period of time, you can use a rolled towel. So let me grab my rolled towel. can use this to support them as well. Just a normal rolled towel, stick it directly underneath their armpits, and that'll help them to position themselves and help to elevate that chest up just a little bit so that they tolerate that position a little bit more. And then lastly, when baby is on their back, I like to work on core strengthening by pulling up, so holding onto their hands and pulling them up into seated position, and then slowly lowering back down. And I like to do this at least 10 times. So this is really good because it's I call it baby crunches. So it's basically working your upper abdominal region to be able to draw together, and then eccentrically lower slowly back down. And this is also really good for neck strengthening. So just coming up and back down. So hopefully that helps for any parents who are looking for more exercise ideas for core strengthening for their babies. One other thing that I didn't talk about that I like to do is kind of like a crisscross pattern. So while they're on their back, bringing opposite hand over towards opposite foot is a really good one to also engage those oblique muscles. So, and using toys to help. So like putting a toy here, shaking it and helping them to reach with their opposite hand towards that toy is a really good one to get that cross body motion. So hopefully that helps, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to post or ask through my Facebook page or through my website. Thank you.